thought I was going to see that man. God bless Rwanda. God bless Ghana. And God bless our sponsor. Yes, you can see exchange of pleasantries from Ghana to Rwanda. And the man I'm talking about is the one there, sporting jersey number 10, Godfred Bakiwem. Simply call him Ashake and he will answer you. The umpires for today, umpire Olumide Akintokun from Osun State, Nigeria. Umpire Abib Amoto Enesi from Kaduna State, Nigeria. And the third umpire is Kehinde Olambiwonu from Ogun State, Nigeria. And you can see the umpire mentor, David Odiambo, having a tete-a-tete with the trio, as well as the match referee giving his directive also. And I'm talking about Tonye Timinadi. Ghana getting into that prayer session. Almost immediately, the two umpires get on the field. This game provided drama for us. And I recall one of the statements credited to Shewon Deku saying each time Ghana and Rwanda face each other, it's usually very feisty and dramatic. Tamino John joins me at the commentary position. The two umpires getting on the field, and the field inside will be getting on the pitch in a jiffy. Ghana captain who lost the toss said if I had won the toss, I would have loved to field. So it's not a problem that my opponent puts me to go and bat. I'm talking about Didier Ndikubumana. And if you look at it, Nigeria are 5 out of 5. Ghana are 3 out of 4. Rwanda are 1 out of 3. And I mean 1-1 game out of 3 matches. He said today's game is very, very important to us. The captain of Rwanda. We don't win this game, it's looking more like we are going to be out of playing in the final. And that's not what people back home in Rwanda want to see.
Sean, you're right. You can see the battle.
Yes, on the screen. Correct or not correct? That's the man. Godfred Bakiwem. He did the job yesterday. Out of 41 runs that he scored, he had just 1-6. He's going to be opening the bowling. Vastly experienced. You viewer back home, you decipher for yourself whether he looks like Ashake or not. But he's not lonely at the top.
It's nice. Having a time with you, definitely at the box.
How important is today's game to Rwanda?
Well, we all hope that as the tournament goes on for each day, we will see team do much better than they performed in their previous matches, and that's very important for the game.
Absolutely. Very important game for them. The last time they scored 121, and that 121 ensured that they got into a super over. What kind of projection are you giving Rwanda today so that they can go into the second innings and defend?
Well, Aji, I still want to keep it open. You know, the game of cricket is not easily predicted, especially when it takes two sides, to decide the victory. Each side will have to bat at a particular innings to get. So it's Rwanda in there batting right now, and they're looking forward to set up a good total. So that's where I will leave it at the moment.
Godfred Bakiwem coming from the Court of Appeal end. The two opening batters are Ochide Tuizenge, the striker. He wants to start off the mark. That is the positivity that Captain Didier wants to see. And this man will be hoping for a good outing. Eric Duzingizimana. While we pride our own Peter Aho as a Guinness World Record holder in bowling as far as T20 is concerned, Eric Duzingizimana is also a Guinness World Record holder. He batted for 51 hours inside the net to raise money to build the Gahanga Cricket Stadium. Himself and Ketia Uwamahoro. Eric used to be the former captain of Rwanda, same as Ketia Uwamahoro.
You're right, Ajidagba. Your knowledge about the game cannot be taken off. It's good to hear from you, especially when you talk about.
But you have done it at the highest level. When you have coached at the highest level, it's a big achievement. And of course, you at one point in time has played cricket to the highest level. My level of cricket is just. Let me just leave it at that. I'm not like Tayo Showale, who gave us too many information, but with little to take home. I took it with a pinch of salt. He was talking about Obed Harvey, and he said Obed Harvey, one of the few players to score quite a lot of runs. Yes, accepted, but Tayo went for that to say, oh, though in that game, I was the better bowler. I said, I didn't need that information, Tayo. Just tell me that he did well. But Tayo just wants to absolve himself of any blame that though I was not among the bowlers that Obed knocked around. Eric yet to get off the mark after 4 balls bowled in this over. Just 1 run conceded. The bowling side will be delighted.
Very good ball bowled by Goffred. He has chose to bowl from the Court of Appeal end. Normally comes from the pavilion end. I'm surprised seeing him coming from the Court of Appeal end in this particular innings.
You know, truth of the matter is you come from whichever end that suits you. If he tries this place and does not work, he could switch to the other end.
Well, you're right, Shewaji Dagba. Sometimes you really want to look, or you want to test what it looks like to come from the other end of the pitch.
Like they say in local parlance, one road no enter market.
End of second over.
First. That's 1 gone.
Yeah.
2 runs on board.
They are still in the power play over when we look forward to see any team batting to make a very good use of the first 6 overs of the T20 format. And so far, I think the scoring run rate has been very, very low. It's not too impressive, but that tells us that the Ghanaian side is actually bowling so well. And if you look at the over of Goffred, he's only considered 2 runs in that 6 ball in that last over, and that's amazing.
Absolutely brilliant. There's a change in batting lineup from what happened on Thursday between these 2 teams. That day, Captain DDA Indukubumana decided to open batting with Eric Duzingizimana, but today he just said Ochide Tuizenge go and open batting, and they'll be hoping for a better performance, because these 2 opening batting Tamuno that day combined to score 5 runs in between them, 2 and 3 respectively.
I think it's also nice to see team doing some change up when it comes to their batting lineup. You know, it gives them an opportunity to approach the game from a different angle, and it also shows that they've actually gone to their home ground. They've gone back to the box to look at what is wrong and what is right and what they need to adjust and come back stronger. A good shot over the 30th for this big 6 down to the box area. Very lovely hit, clean shot.
Perfect way to start. It was almost going to be hitting Tayo, but Tayo's alertness ensured that he just picked the ball. That was a lovely shot there from Eric to Michael Abuaye. This is not the best way to start, but coincidentally, Michael got the wicket of Eric when they first met. Positivity.
Second one played down there to the long off area for a single run. Rwanda has beginning to build a partnership that will actually lead them to a comfortable total at the end of the first innings with a very good approach from Eric.
Eric has not got the kind of tournament that he has been craving for, and we hope that today is just the day he has that body built attribute.
Over the cover head for another 4. We can see the ball rolling down, raising down the covers area for 4 runs. Lovely shot. This is what I talk about. Batters taking advantage of the power play overs, which is the 6 overs in the 20 overs game.
This over is becoming very expensive for Michael Abuaye. Michael Abuaye is the 3rd leading wicket taker in this tournament with 7 wickets. No maiden. Maximum wicket he got in the game was 3 and an economy rate of 4.81.
It's 11 runs in 4 balls. And next one was well struck down to the mid wicket area. There was a sloppy field there, and that one was dropped. It could have been a catch.
And that's from the captain.
The Ghanaian really need to work on taking every single opportunity that comes their way. We've always been told that catches win matches, Ajidagba.
Absolutely. An expensive over from Michael Abuaye based on the standard that we know. 14 runs for loss of no wicket after 2 overs.
A wicket in that over would have put a bit of a relief to Michael Abuaye.
Absolutely.
And that's why it's good for fielders to complement their bowlers, the bowling of any side. When the fielders are actually doing their beats and ups, it adds a lot of value to the bowling.
You can say that again.
It's end of 2 overs, 14 runs for the fall of no wicket.
And coincidentally, Nigeria and Rwanda have scored the highest runs in their games. Skies it up. Is it gone?
Chidi has played that one up, and lovely catch.
Lovely catch from the captain.
And that is the second wicket.
It's just the first one.
Oh, sorry. I beg your pardon, Shema Ajidagba. And that's the first wicket for this innings. The current run rate is 7 runs per over. If they go by this run rate, they will end up at 140 in 20 overs. Of course, the Ghanaian are having a team meeting again. They need to talk about the drop catches. They need to talk about the fielders running and taking and also converting the half chances into full chances. Very, very important. The man that we've been waiting for, Hamza Khan, the man who has gotten the first half century for his team, is strolling in again to build up a partnership with Eric. Let's hope for the best for both of them.
And in hoping for the best, it takes you several hours to get to India. How long did it take you to get to India? Hometex Institute, Tamuno. How many hours trip?
That flight was about 8 hours, 38 minutes.
8 hours, 38 minutes. But in a jiffy, I will be arriving in India where the World Cup is going on. And this is not what the Indians were expecting. After the first innings, Australia, the most successful team at the World Cup, 199 was what they got. But Tamuno, as we speak, 4.5 overs. India, 12 runs for loss of 3 wickets.
But we know that the Australian side will always fight back. They're never a side that you can get an easy one off. Definitely. And we always know what low total means. It means both teams have to really struggle it out.
You can say that again. Thank you for the in-swinger coming. We'll keep you up to speed about what's happening in India. The fans will be silent by now and hoping for a miracle. This is the man that has scored the most runs in this tournament. Hamza Khan is making his debut for the Rwandan team. Godfred bowling. The man has 113 runs. Highest score is 59. Strike rate of 107.62. The 6 he has scored 4 in total. And the 4s he has 8 in total. I'm sure somewhere in the heart of people like Sulaiman Rushewe and Daniel Ayekum, they will say, Godfred, you might be God sent to help us get the wicket of Hamza Khan. So he doesn't score more runs. That will be difficult for us to catch up.
I think it's so nice to see a batter like Hamza Khan bat in the center. It takes no prisoners. And this looks like a catch in the long on area, and Hamza Khan is gone. Just about when we're about to give some accolade to him, he's taking the
I guess that's commentators' cause. I was saying that the duo of Agekum and Sulaiman Rushewe will be saying, Godfred, can you be God sent? And of course, that eventually happened. bad day at the office for Hamza Khan. How do you explain how they started on an impressive note and now they are almost displaying what's happening back in India at the World Cup? They are 14 for 2.
I love the way you talk about the Indian side when you actually want to chip them into this tournament. The Ghanaians have not been doing too bad also with the fielding. They've been taking every opportunity that's come their way, and they seem to approach this innings with much energy, and that's good to see.
Beautiful over. Beautiful over. And you can see Ochide Tuizenge caught by Samson Kwasi aware of Godfred Bakiwayem bowling. 6 runs of 5 balls. We'll come back to that statistics. In comes Captain Didier Indikubumana. He needs to put up a captain's performance. First, arrest the slump of losing wickets and try to build a partnership with Eric.
You're right, Ajidagba. Building partnership is very important. For every big total you see around the world, there's always a partnership that stays. Or a batter who will decide to carry the weight on his shoulder while others rotate around him.
2 wickets in this over. And just 1 run conceded. You have to say brilliant from the vastly experienced Godfred Bakiwayem, who we call Ashake organized and is acting like an Ogbon Sodiki with the bowling.
3 overs gone. It's 15 runs for the loss of 2 wickets. The projected score has gone down to 100 runs if they continue at this pace for 20 overs. Current run rate is 5 runs per over. Rwanda need to do something now. They need to take advantage of the power play over, which they've not been doing.
3 more overs to go and the power play would end.
Say it.
Syed Akil Isra.
Syed Akil, good bowler coming from the pavilion end.
Yeah.
I can tell you has a very short run up, but he's had a good whipping arms. So you don't underrate his run up. Something different will happen when you begin to think that his run up is short, it's not going to come that fast to you. This man has a very quick whipping hand. So the Rwandans should take note of that and make sure that they don't misjudge him.
Michael Abuaye saying no run there.
In the shorter format of this game, the batters really have little time to play themselves in because the overs tick so fast.
Good running in between the wickets and great communication between Captain Didier and Eric. Like we say, communication varies, upward, downward communication, horizontal and vertical, or up and down, depending on which one you want to choose. But more importantly, the striker and the non-striker must communicate.
You are right, Ajidagba. Yeah. Communication between the wicket is always important, and also it is nice that it is clear when batters call between the wickets. A good push from Eric.
They need to tick the boxes. While we are thanking all our sponsors, our major sponsor Dafabet, but our biggest sponsor is God Almighty, who has ensured that no game has been washed out.
You're right, Sheon. The atmosphere has been so clean for the tournament so far. No rain has disturbed any match. even when we had the downfall in the night, it only gave a bit of delay of start, but the match still went on well.
Just 2 overs reduced, and that was yesterday. The whole essence of organizing this tournament is for these countries to have more game time.
You are right, Sheon.
And if you now have games being washed out, it defeats the whole purpose. The projection was 20 matches in 10 days, and now we are on match 10.
Lovely shot played between covers and points for 4 runs.
One day.
Didier has actually responded so positive with this one, telling the Ghanaians that it's not going to let this go. I mean, when we talk about attacking, does not mean that you must go over the boundary for each ball. It just means that you make sure that you try and make runs off each balls, so that there won't be much dot balls as you play your innings.
You can say that again. Into the first over of Akil. Ready is 6 runs in this over. It's very important for Eric and Didier to build some partnership. At least stay there for the next 5 overs. Might prove very crucial to whatever they want to achieve today. And the captain has said to himself and said to the team, he also must take responsibility. He's now batting, that today's game is very, very important.
You're right, Ajidagba. So far, the partnership of Didier and Eric has given them 7 runs for 7 balls they faced together. I think I've begun to fall in love with the technique of Didier. Love the way the young man stay over the ball with the head and shoulder leaning into the shot, I love the way he hits the ball so clean with the face of the bat, and that is what we say when we talk about technique.
Godfred coming for his 3rd over. But he's the man that has gotten 2 wickets. The wicket of Ochide to Izenge, and Hamza Khan, the leading run scorer.
Oh, there was a delay call here. It was risky, but they took that one. And to add 1 to the total, the current run rate has moved to 5 runs per over. Rwanda digging it out at the center, fighting so hard to put a decent score.
Eric was in the mood to run, and he was also set to run.
Eyes away from that ball, fits her path. I was thinking he would have stepped into the line with the head leaning into the shot, would have gotten a good shot down the long on area for a decent boundary if he connects that one.
If he connects that well, something just tells me that ball is going for a 6.
Lovely partnership from both of them, and if you see their figures, you will find out that their strike rate is at 100%, which tells you that they've tried to make runs for each balls.
Based on the body somatotype of Eric, his upper extremity, the way it's built, if he connects, it's a local slang of Sopoti law.
Good push there by Eric. Rotating strike, keeping the bowler guessing, and that's what it is. If you watch both batters, you'll find out that there's height difference. It means that the line and length to both of them at every time might not be the same.
One of the difficult teams to face is players who are rotating strikes. You don't know who to actually go for because they are rotating it. That was sensible. End of the 5th over. 25 runs for loss of 2 wickets. Godfred Bakiwayem, the only person to get wickets.
One more over to come before it will be the end of the power play of this innings. And I want to see a bit of more aggression in the batting, just to take advantage of it before the feed has been spread over.
But in your heart of hearts, did they take advantage of the power play enough?
So far, they've been going 5 per over. I think that is not good enough. But again, for the loss of 2 wickets and the runs are not piling, I would have loved it if they have lost 2 wickets and by this time they put up about 60 runs. That would have been much better. But again, one good partnership can turn things around. But sometimes you have a slow start, then you end up piling runs at the middle of the game or at the end, towards the end of the game. So we never want to ride that away so long. I think there's a strategy that they have adopted that we don't know yet. We just sit back and hope for the best.
He shuffles to come and play that, and they will go for 1 run. Syed still bowling from the pavilion end. He's into his 2nd over, yet to get a wicket. Looking for that space, but the opportunities are not opening.
So far, this has been the best of fielding I've seen from the Ghanaian side. Ajilagba, they've been able to place their feeders in the right position and restricting the batters from getting boundaries earlier on.
Lovely dab.
Creative.
Yes, like we always say in cricket, it's divided into 2 halves, the first innings and the second innings. So if you allow your opponents score runs that will be too difficult for you to meet up in the second innings, you have to bear the brunt. So what they are trying to do is to ensure that they do not allow their opponents to missed opportunity there. Michael Abuaye.
He goes shy at the wicket, and this is what pressure is all about. When you keep cooking pressure from the bowling and from the fielding, complementing the bowling, definitely there will be chances for run out, because you'll find that the batters will struggle and try to score all runs or force runs out of a ball that doesn't seem too bad, and that will give you an opportunity to get wickets.
Good attempt from Michael. And so we have come to the end of the 6th over. 29 for loss of 2 wickets. Ladies and gentlemen, to come join me at the commentary position is the voice you listen to for the very first game between Nigeria and Sierra Leone. Oluwaseun Odeku definitely will have history about his game against Ghana. And what is that dramatic game, Seun, that you want to recount that you had against this Ghanaian side?
Well, thanks, Ajidagba. And again, it's a privilege to be here. I think I've played Ghana quite a number of times, and I think for me it's just it's a privilege that I've never lost to them in my playing days. Ghana and Nigeria, rivals, always playing competitive games, but I guess at the time when I was fortunate to be part of the team, we were much stronger, and yes, we always came out victorious during the games.
Thank you very much. Not the perfect way to start for Daniel Kwabena Anefe. Well, let me just quickly ask how Odeku felt back in 2018 when Ghana inflicted a 4-0 defeat over Nigeria, both at the ICC tournament and at the ACA tournament.
Well, I think at that point, I believe Nigeria was at the point of rebuilding, and Ghana was at the strongest. And it's never fun when you lose against one of your fierce rivals. But I guess we're so close to most of the Ghanaian players now that we see them in our league. They are, they just pop in and out of Nigeria because of the proximity, and so we can't feel too bad for those victories are sad, but yes, yeah, we're also happy for our brothers because ultimately we want to see cricket move in the right trajectory for every of the region countries.
He changed his bat, Eric, and after changing his bat, he dabbed for one. One thing I've always joked about is when batters request for new bats and the extension gloves, and they bring it to the field, and the next ball you get bowled.
I think that has something to do with the concentration levels. It's again similar to why a lot of wickets drop after the water break. I guess as a batsman, those are the times you need to be even more careful. When you change your bat, when you change your gloves, when you come back from a short break, just those pauses in the game can impact your momentum. And therefore, we know cricket is a game of details. Very very little details impact the way the outcome of a game. Just nicking to the first sleep, playing on to your stumps, or even just mistiming a stroke that you've been playing properly previously. So yes, those things matter. Cricket is a game of timing, like we say. You have to get the right timing, especially from a batting perspective. So yes, it's important to always be in the game.
We are currently in the 7th over. Daniel Kwabena Anefe bowling from the Court of Appeal end.
Good Yorker there, and almost a run-out chance. Very smart cricket by Eric and Didier. Seeing that the bills had been dislodged, they figured it was better to take a run, because running out would have required you taking the ball to the wicket and holding out a stump to run them out. So very smart cricket to know that that was a run chance. But indeed, there was an appeal for a run out from the direct hit, straight back. It would have been nice if we had third umpire to look at that. Yeah.
But I was thinking maybe Akil, who threw the ball, should have just done that to the wicketkeeper straight into his gloves rather than trying to aim for it. That's a bit safer.
Well, that's a valid point. I think for such close run-outs, direct hits are maybe more desirable from a fielder's perspective, and maybe looking at the keeper. Looking at the keeper trying to get to the keeper. Those, like I said, those few details can result in batsmen getting in.
Thank you very much. Excellent thought from Oluwaseun Odeku. Just one more ball, and we would have come to the end of the 7th over. Eric scoring 15 runs off 19 balls, and Didier has got 11. You can see only Godfred has gotten wickets, and he has an economy rate.
Dropped chance there. Not sure who that fielder is. Is that Obed? No, not Obed Avi.
Certainly not.
Number 3.
That was a missed opportunity there. We'll give you who that was. Aziz Suwale. That would have been a perfect way to end the 7th over.
Absolutely. And put the Rwandan team under increased pressure. 36 for 2 in 7 overs they're already on the back foot, I must say. Not the desired run rate you want from a power play. I'm not sure the Ghanaian team have bowled up to the batsmen. They've kept 2 men out in the mid-off, long on and long off, and counting on their bowlers keeping it very straight, and the Rwandan batsmen just eating it back, and probably getting a chance. So I would argue that maybe from a batting perspective, Rwanda could have been more adventurous, toyed with the field a bit, looked at the option of taking advantage of no long third man and no fine leg, by just walking around the wicket and seeing where they could have at least increased this run rate. The ideal run rate for the power overs nowadays is 9 and 10, and between 8 and 10, I would argue. And therefore, at the end of 6 overs, you should be looking at the minimum 50 runs.
Lovely shot there from Didier. And I need to ask you, Seun, Didier said at the middle when they went for the toss that this game is very crucial to them. They need to win this game and remain in the hunt for playing in the final. Is that informing the decision of how he's playing? He's really playing some sensible cricket. He doesn't want to give anything to chance.
Absolutely. I think, well, if you look at the Rwandan team, they've always been very professional in their approach to the game, in their preparation, in their execution. And I'm sure, they want to make the most of this opportunity that they have, coming to Nigeria for this tournament. They want to be part of that final. They don't want to, like you said, mathematically, it's almost going to be impossible for them to qualify for the final if they do lose this game. So another lofted drive. Oh, lovely stop by Ashake. And sorry, Vicky.
Godfred Bakiwayem.
Lovely stop by Godfred.
Saving 2 runs is very crucial in a game like this.
Absolutely. And that was a very good stop. That shows the dedication that we like to see from a field inside. A run saved, like they say, is a run made.
Yes. 8 overs gone. 40 runs on board. 2 wickets down. Ochide Tuizenge and Hamza Khan.
Absolutely. It's looking, I would say the game is evenly poised and looking balanced. Ghana will be happy with where they are, having restricted Rwanda to 40 for 2 in 8 overs. Rwanda will be happy that they feel they've not lost more wickets. They've had a couple of chances, dropped. They've been given a couple of chances. They'll be happy with that. And the 2 batsmen are looking good. And the risk is if they're able to build on this platform, then they can take advantage of it. And Ghana will be the one on the back foot. But so far, so good. It's evenly poised.
Is that partnership that these bowlers will be ruminating in their head on how to dislodge them so they can start again from ground zero. Daniel Anefi has to think about it. He's coming from the Court of Appeal end. We are into the 9th over, and once we get into the 10th over, we'll bring on someone. He should be getting ready.
Oh, Bowling down the leg side by Daniel. Um, Eric and Didier looking good so far. 19 off 26 for Eric and 14 off 15 for Didier. This is looking like a projected score of about 120. But I don't know if that's going to be sufficient for this game, to win this game.
But in addition, I don't know, while I understand that the Ghanaians are fielding very well, it's also imperative that the batters run quickly. When the boundaries are not coming, you need to run the very first one very fast and try and put pressure on the fielding side.
Absolutely.
They are not doing that. They are waiting for the boundaries and it's not coming.
Well, I think the one thing I have to commend the Rwandans for is the technique is very good. The way they've approached the game. The batting technique is there, the communication technique, the running technique. Could they have taken more runs? Again, you have to remember that they play in a much quicker outfield in Ganga, and maybe they're judging the fielding and the runs from that perspective, And but overall, I think I've been impressed by their approach. The full face they're using to strike the ball. I think the beautiful cover 6 here by Eric was just was very over extra cover of the medium pacer. Fantastic shot. But are they able to then execute and take this home? I think that's what we would wait to see.
We wait to see whether they can take this home.
Ooh.
Missed opportunity from Theodore.
Yeah, indeed. Another one bites the dust. Another opportunity. The Ghanaian team are in a cheerful mood today. And they seem to be enjoying the batting as much as we are here. And don't want this batsman to go to the pavilion, because that was clearly a run-out chance.
30-run partnership, not bad from Didier and Eric. So we have come to the end of the night over. 45 runs for loss of 2. Didier and Eric batting. Obed Ave is coming for his second over. The first over wasn't bad. Considered only 4 runs, like I said.
Ooh, is that a cut and bold chance? That will be the 4th or 5th chance now that the Ghanaians have dropped.
Eric has gotten about 2 or 3.
I don't know why I don't get those chances when I'm batting.
I'm talking about chances. I'll share a story with you. Back in 2013, what happened at the Willowmore Cricket Ground?
Oh, lovely brilliant shot. Lovely shot between
Didier
points
is really
and
in the mood. I'll share that story with you. At the Willowmore Cricket Ground, Nigeria versus Sierra Leone. Nigeria was on 44 for loss of 3 wickets. Sean Phillips was dropped when he was on 3 runs. And this same Sean Phillips went on to play 103 not out. And for every time he scored those boundaries, Lamin, the former captain, would look at the fielder who dropped and say, "You dropped Sean." You dropped Sean.
Drops a part of the game. I'm an advocate of, on to the next one. When you feel that, no team member wants to drop a catch. And when that happens, I think then we focus on encouraging that team member, getting them to, forget about it and take the next one. Because that's very important for the team, the team morale. Cricket is one of those games where top edge and taking. Didi has been restless. We've seen the reverse sweep And I think one too many, like we call it in Nigeria, one too many super sports shots.
He tried to do a lot. He was already in the game. And they didn't expect this. He would have loved to stay more and more. But that's 48 for 3.
48 of 3 in 10 overs. Ghana looking really good. And projected score of 96 runs at the current run rate of 4.8. These run rates tend to grow higher as the overs dwindle out. So we expect that, we should be looking at 110, 120, I would say, based on all things being equal and based on, the normal trend of run rate growth.
All right. Well, he's done with his assignment not to return to bat as far as today is concerned. And I'm talking about the captain of the Rwandan side, Didier Indukubumana. I would also get to leave the batting crease. But the difference between yours truly and Didier is that there's still an opportunity to return. And so I would like to bring on.
You're retiring out.
I'm not hot, but I'm just retiring out for more of a bowler than a batter to come take over. Let's see how well he will bat in the crease. Tayo Shewole, former under-19 captain. He will tell us some of his exploits while he was under-19 captain. How some balls left the stadium for the train station. Those stories are going to be there.
Oh, mine.
Thank you, Sean.
Whoa! That would have been a fantastic catch. That would have been one of the screamer, man. Whoa!
Tough chance.
Tough chance by Bakum using all of his height to get to the reach of that ball, but just unable to hold on.
Unlucky.
Unlucky.
Lucky for Eric.
Yes, lucky for Eric. That would have been a great catch.
It would have been a wonderful catch. The game is progressing nicely. 49 for 3 after 10.1. Eric Dusing Gizimana, 23 of 31, leading the charge for Rwanda.
Big appeal by Daniel, but turned down by the umpire. Looked as if he was just going down the leg side.
I think he was missing leg. It's 2 umpires for today. Fast swing bowlers during their days. Olumide Akintokun and Dahiru Enesi.
Absolutely. I'm not so sure about fast with umpire Olumide, but swing I agree to.
Speed is relative. You wonder what the Rwandans have further down their batting lineup. Is there someone who can come in and score quickly?
Rwandans have always been very powerful eaters of the ball, and I think we've seen glimpses of that in this innings. But whether that's going to be effective in the later stages is what we need to concern ourselves with. Like the stroke that was played now is, it's getting to the boundary, but the fielders are just there, so they're eating the ball nicely, but they're not just piercing the field, I would say.
Yeah.
And the Ghanaians have, credit to the Ghanaian team. They've bowled a tidy line and length. They bowled to their field, and they may have dropped a few chances, but they've also taken maybe some of them.
This, personally, has been one of the more enjoyable games for me, simply because it looks like both teams are more evenly matched. There's no issue of bats dominating over the ball and vice versa. it would take discipline, courage, tactical know-how to win this game.
Absolutely. And I think for me, the Rwandan batsman, Eric, and Machine um, they've got to, be smart about how they approach the batting now. You know, they're not getting a lot of value for the beautiful shots they're playing.
Yep.
And so, um, like they need to then approach it differently. It's not really about the execution of the beautiful stroke.
I just push it around,
Yeah,
rotate strike,
absolutely, and you can take two for some of those shots.
cross the field inside to make changes.
Absolutely. There's a beauty clearly in the execution, but is it
Is it giving you the results?
Is it giving you the result? And I think that's what the team needs to just walk
and
around.
it's not the case of a slow outfield, is it? Because most people have gotten value for their shots when they've put it on either side of the fielder.
Not the fastest outfield also, but like you said, not the slowest also. And I think some of those strokes are going straight to the fielders. Again, you can give some credit to the Ghanaian bowlers, bowling to the field, like they say. But again, as batsmen, just a single, just opening the face up slightly, it may be what you need. If I look at the field right now, there's currently no cover. If you push it to cover, I'm sure you can take 2 runs before extra cover and long off come in.
Just like
You
this.
know, Again, these shots, the batsmen are maybe not. They're pushing at the balls. They're playing good strokes, but sometimes you need to play with soft hands to achieve an objective.
Yep.
Yeah, another single, and misfield, which results in an extra run to Machineway.
But Avi putting in another strong bowling performance shows you why he's close to the top of the standings.
Interesting fact about Obed, he used to be a pace bowler, and he became a spinner when he got to, I think I'm not sure which innings convinced him he was no longer a pace bowler. But whoever the batsman was must have really dealt with him.
Quick single there again. It will be interesting to see how many dot balls have been racked up this innings. There seems to be one every other ball.
Very correct. 6 runs in the last over. If you go at that rate, again, we're looking at a projected score of 120.
Yep.
Thereabout. And then we'll look at the expected flurry of possible boundaries in the latter overs. And we could be getting to 120. But so far, going by the run rate, we're looking at 97 total. I'm not sure that's a pass score on this field. What do you think the pass score is, Ty, on this outfield? With this on the pitch playing the way it's playing, and
considering the pitch and the outfield, I think 125, 130.
All right. Ooh, is that a catch?
Flick his pads.
Umpire
says
says
flick his
no.
pads.
Umpire says no.
The quality of cricket, the quality of umpiring has not been bad at all this competition.
I agree with you 100%. It's actually been very good. Saying it's not bad may not give it the credit it deserves. I agree with you that it's been way, way above what we expect it to be. And our expectation is that we can only continue to get better.
We can only continue to get better. Both these men standing have a number of international appearances under their belt. And we expect that they will get a lot more.
Absolutely. umpire Olumide has given me out a few times in the league locally. So his judgment, I think, is very, 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 very good. And that's why himself and NSC have had the privilege of umpiring at international games outside of Nigeria. .2 overs gone, 59 for 3. If you put yourself in, just imagine you're the one batting in the middle now. What is going through your mind, Tayo? Where do you think the batsmen, Eric and Machinwe, what do you think they should be looking to do? Up the run rate, keep pushing around,
So if I'm Eric, and he has shown some intent, to be fair to him, but if I'm Eric, after 38 balls, I have to take it upon myself to drive the game forward. If I'm Oscar Manishinwe, I'm looking at Eric saying, you've been here, I'm going to give you the strike, I'm going to make sure you face more balls and get the runs going.
I don't think we've had a boundary in the last 4 to 6 overs.
No, we haven't in a while, actually, and it's not for a want of trying, because Eric has swung hard a few times. And just as we say that,
Eric delivers. I strongly believe Eric has an earpiece.
he's listening to us. But he needs to do more of that. He needs to play for the team now.
Yes,
and get the runs on the board.
I do have a slight concern with his technique, though. I feel he's planting the front foot too early. And even when the balls then come short, he's unable to reach with his back foot because a lot of the weight is always transferred to his front foot. Yeah. So that's why he's missed a lot of cut opportunities on the offside. Again,
he's a strong, powerful man. When he gets it in the middle of the bat, it travels. But like you said, sometimes the shape is wrong.
Yes, I think he's probably, more than any one of us, is aware of this also, and I'm sure the coach is probably working with him on it. And I think Ghana they've also identified it, and they're either bowling it full to him or bowling it short of a good length. They're not giving him any half volleys. Yeah. Again, that's a full ball. He's missing those balls because he's already stepping out and putting a lot of weight on that front foot.
He's planting his front foot, looking for the space.
He needs to he needs to meet with endurance to teach him how he does that. His cow corner shot. So far, 5 bowlers bowled so far. 13 overs gone. Godfrey 2 wickets at an economy of 2.3. Obed again, trying to regain his spot at the top of the bowling for the tournament. The bowling leaderboard, wicket leaderboard. It's gotten 1 wicket already. Could have been 2 if he had taken the other chance. I'm sure he'll be beating himself up. Obed has been a consistent performer for Ghana. He was in South Africa for a few years, where he played and he coached at the junior level. I think that exposure is clearly, visible.
It has done him a world of good
in terms of his approach to the game and his knowledge of the game. Obed has always been a wonderful talent, and I think going to South Africa just really helped him, build on that talent.
Yep.
And also become one of their most valuable player in Ghana.
Yeah, speaking of valuable players, 11 dot balls in that spell by Godfred.
Yeah.
Almost 2 overs of dots.
2 overs of dots. That's suicidal in T20. Obed doubles as the female coach for the Ghanaian team. And I think sometimes very little credit is given to the love that people have for cricket in this part of the region,
Yep.
and the kind of work they put in,
And the
and the
sacrifice.
sacrifice. Being a player for the men's team and also coaching the female team. That's if I would say that's a lot to take on, and that just shows dedication to the cause.
It does. It does. Um, 4 balls gone in his last over of his spell. It's only 2 runs conceded.
Lovely back foot punch to extra cover. Again, you'd think that could have been played squarer, and maybe more reward for that stroke.
Ooh, good bowling.
Good bowling by Obed.
End of the 14th over, 70 for 3.
Do you have an idea of what Obed bowls? It seems to me like it's a left arm
Left arm off spin.
off spin.
Yep.
So to a right hander that comes as a leg spin.
Yes.
All right. That's some cheat mode there. I've always felt like lefties they make everything, they inverse everything.
It's on your head upside down.
Yes, they do. As a bowler, I struggle coming from over the wicket, bowling to a lefty, because you have very little room for error.
Yep.
You're on the pads.
You have to
The
adjust.
natural shot for every left-hander is to flick you. I don't think I've seen a left-hander that cannot flick. A left-hander batsman that cannot play that stroke.
Yep. Comes
So
naturally to
natural
them.
to them, and then they deposit you in mid-wicket. So Godfrey coming back from the appeal court end. I believe this will be his last over.
Yes.
Taking 2 wickets already. Fantastic
For 7 runs.
economy. Ooh.
Starts with a dot. A bye.
Yes. Again, talking about running between wickets, that could have been too easily for the Rwandan batsmen. Eric and Machinwe could have maybe they need to run harder, and they currently, like we predicted, the run rate has gone up to 5. Oh, lovely bowling. Slightly slower.
He's a smart cricketer, Godfrey.
Yes, he is. He is. I've faced him a couple of times. Can be very quick. He can also take the pace off. I recall he bowled me once, and I basically didn't play a stroke to that ball, and my team members
Eric
laughed
goes
at me.
for it. It's going to be 2.
2 runs there.
He has to do this now. He has to get going now. He has to attack this last 5-6 overs.
Absolutely. I don't think there's an option.
You have 7 wickets in hand. There's no reason to not try to get the runs.
There's really no option. He's got to go at it and try and get as many runs as possible. And I'm very convinced he has an earpiece.
Every time we say this, he goes and does it.
He's
Why does he wait for us to say it then?
I don't know why. Eric, I know you can hear us. So I'm asking you to give us another 6.
Give us more of those.
Eric is a very strong guy. When he strikes the ball, you know that ball has been hit.
Yep.
Again, no half volleys. Eric seems to delight in half volleys.
Yep. Especially the ones on his wicket line.
That's the third 6 of this innings for Eric. Moves him on to 41. 42 or 46 balls now. Machineway too. He really needs to go after the bowling now. Wickets in hand. 5 overs to go from after this over.
Yep.
And he does that, but does he hold out? Yes, he does. Plays it straight to mid-off for an easy catch.
At this rate of the game, that's nothing more than a dot ball. It really doesn't matter much. 80 for 3 after 15. 5 overs to go. Godfred gets his 3rd wicket. Fun fact, Godfred conceded more runs in his final over than he did in all of the first 3.
That's T20 for you, man. That's T20 for you. Overall, I think we can argue that he's bowled very well.
Oh, there's no argument. He has bowled excellently well. Getting a wicket at this stage of the innings is a great thing for a bowling side. You don't want a set batter to attack the last 5 overs. It's gotten Oscar Manishinwe. Of course, they still have Eric Lusing Gizimana to contend with. But a new man walks to the crease. You're happy as a fielding captain.
Absolutely. Just to quickly touch base in India. Quick trip to India, where Australia is playing India in the World Cup. India looking to score 200 runs to win. Currently 56 for 3. Virat Kohli and KL Rahul steady in the innings. These two guys have, I think, in the recent ODI friendlies against Australia before the World Cup, the warm-up games, they did have a wonderful partnership. Both players scoring 100. Do you think they can repeat it today to take India home?
Well, they can repeat it. They don't have to score 100 today. Clearly, there's not enough runs. They will be happy to just win the game, I'm sure, considering the start that they had. I think 2 for 3 in the first 5 overs or so. This World Cup has been funny in terms of just the swing in results. Huge scores today, low scores tomorrow.
I think India has that effect. India is a massive country, and I do feel like you have several countries in India. Every state, to me, is a country. I had the privilege of being in India in 2011, 2012, and one of the things I found out was that every time I move from one state to the other, it's almost like it's a new culture entirely.
Right.
It's a new climate in some cases. And therefore, I think that is probably going to affect the nature of the pitches. Unlike when you play in England, for example, where all the pitches behave very similar, and so I think that's going to affect the results. Yesterday, South Africa versus Sri Lanka was almost like they were playing on the M1 Expressway. It was a very flat pitch, and
the batters made the most of it.
Yeah, one interesting statistics in that game that a lot of people are not talking about. The South African opening bowler conceded 97 runs in 10 overs yesterday. and I keep asking myself.
He was going for 100.
That would have been the 3rd South African scoring a century in that game. So yes, it must have been a very flat wicket. Just see it, you eat it.
New man in, Kabari. Faces the second ball, swats that one away. There's 2 on offer, but Eric opts for 1.
Yeah, there needs to be more urgency around the running between wickets. Kabari and Eric look like big guys. Do you think that will affect the running between the wickets?
It could. They may decide, let's not run. Kabari looks like he can hit a long one.
Yeah.
Let's see.
They don't look too quick. Kabari doesn't look too quick between the wickets. Maybe he's just playing it safe.
I think he wants to hit a 6. Not a great ball, but he gets a dot, gets away with it. 16 gone, 83 for 4.
Absolutely. Kabari's body language looks like they just woke him up. He needs to be, I want to see more energy from his body language. Coming in at this very crucial point, 4 overs to go, 83 for 4 runs. In T20, you need to come in running. No chance for you to, warm the engines when you come into a T20 game.
Exactly.
83 for 4, 16 overs gone. The new bowler, or is it a return bowler?
Oh, it's coming back.
Yeah. Medium pacer, coming from the Court of Appeal end.
Akil.
Akil. Oh, lovely stroke by Eric. Again, just one run for that much effort.
Akil Syed 10 for 0 in his previous 2 overs.
You know, interesting fact, cricket started in Rwanda in 1994. I would say that that's not too far off, you know. That was when I resumed secondary school, you know, so if I can remember it, then it's not far off. Compared to Nigeria, where cricket started.
And that's a wicket. Kabari goes.
Kabari is bowled.
Akil Syed gets his first.
Yes.
Huge heave. Try to mold that one to mid wicket.
Kabari never got the engine running.
He never got it running. And he begins his long walk back to the pavilion.
Practicing the stroke he should have played.
Gives us a chance to introduce 2 gentlemen. One of them who you've met before, Seun Ajidagba. Seun, welcome back. And just as I say that, I have the pleasure of also introducing the president of Nigeria Cricket Federation, who's going to be with us in a minute, Mr. Uyi Akpata. Seun.
Thank you very much, Tayo Showale and Oluwaseun Odeku. This is the West Africa Trophy, sponsored by Dafabet and organized by the Nigerian Cricket Federation. After the fall of that wicket, which is 84 runs for loss of 5 wickets, it's my singular honor, pleasure, and delight to introduce to the commentary position the man who is taking cricket to the permanent site in Nigeria, the president of Nigerian Cricket Federation, Mr. Uyi Akpata. Good afternoon. Super excited to have you at the commentary position.
Thank you very much. I'm really glad to be here with the real stars. Today is day 5. I've been here physically for only 2 days, but it just seems as if I've been here all day because of the excellent broadcasting you guys have been doing. So kudos to you. Well played.
Let me start from that place. How excited are you about this West Africa Trophy?
Well, I've been telling everybody who cares to listen, when Nigeria is hosting, there are 2 primary objectives. So which one are you listening? The first one is how well the Nigerian team performs. So I'm assuming you were talking about the other one. Let's just see how the overall tournament goes through. On a serious note, excellent. We look at the key objectives all round. We had a very short time to prepare for this tournament. There was a huge organizing committee that set about making sure that the various stakeholders had their ducks on a roll and everything was properly done. So from the grounds crew, that's the curators, that is, the technical crew, those of you in media and broadcasting, and generally those in charge of liaisons and logistics for the teams. The feedback I've received so far is that everything is just gone according to plan. So excellent work. It's day 5, and of course the weather has held for us. A sort of scare yesterday, but all round I think the foundation has been clearly established that West Africa is ready to showcase itself to the rest of the world.
Talking about West Africa, I recall vividly on August 31st of this year, ICC Global Manager William Glenwright said at the Trophy Tour that Nigeria is one of the fastest growing cricket countries in the world. How does that make you feel? More importantly, that you are the president and you have an exciting board that is helping you actualize your goals.
Very excited. I mean, when you get independent persons giving you assessments and pass mark as it were, you are only encouraged to do more. But for me, I believe we still have a long way to go against our key strategic imperatives. We know about grassroots development, so my target, I have one eye looking at the returns and score sheets coming from the development officers across the country to see if we can cross the 300,000 mark this year in terms of people newly being introduced to the game. So that area remains key for us. In terms of facilities, we had already also said that it's by the third year you'll see wickets also being matured as well. So I'm really, really excited that the wickets at the TBS Oval have come through for us. Again, thanks to the curator, the ground crew. So that's when it comes to our facilities. Again, when it comes to our partnerships with media, excellent, government and stakeholders, but I think we still have some way to go when it comes to overall sponsorship. But thanks to DefaBet has not only come through here for us, but they are very prominent in East Africa. So arguably they are the best promoter of associate cricket amongst African associate countries. So we pray and hope that this partnership will be sustained, and hopefully other sponsors will see this and be encouraged to come on board, as it were.
I will still get to field questions or ask questions from my president of the Cricket Federation, Mr. Uyakwata. We see very much here. Skies the ball up, no man's land, and of course, he survives the scare. Emmanuel Sebareme and Eric Duzingizimana hoping to join the train of people who have scored 50 at this tournament. Only 2 players have scored 50. Sulaiman Nushewe, wicket keeper and opening batter for Nigeria. And Hamza Khan, oh, brilliant stop. Brilliant stop. Eric Duzingizimana already is on 47 runs. 54 balls he has faced. Oh, brilliant stop. Now let me come to my president once again. On the 31st of March 2023, during the female invitational tournament, there was history that was made, and that was the contract signing for both male and female players of the national team of Nigeria. And that improved performance. What informed that decision?
As we've always said, there are key elements of our strategic imperatives. Player development, or the quality of our players when it comes to their technical and all-round competence is key to us. And the standard practice is generally that you provide some kind of incentives so that people can spend time to concentrate on the game itself. I'm excited that that was well received. I personally believe we are not there yet when it comes to what we're doing. I want to see a situation when this time next year, when we're having this tournament, there will actually be prize monies for players. But the fact that they've accepted our token, as it were, shows that all hands are on deck. That investment is being made. So in summary, I think the players clearly recognize our good faith in terms of our partnership to just see Nigeria take its rightful place when it comes to cricket. Let's remember our overall objective is to be one of the top 3 cricket playing nations in Africa.
Top 3 cricket playing nations in Africa. That also was re-echoed by the high performance manager and the coach of the national team, Steve Tikolo. How do you intend to achieve this, Mr. President?
Let me be specific. Top 3 when it comes to just the technical bit of the field. When it comes to grassroots development, you've clearly seen that we're actually number 1 when it comes to the ranking in terms of developing associate countries, in terms of overalls. Well, number 1 in Africa. That's and I believe it was 5 or 8 in the world when you look at the overall developmental scorecard. So I'm excited about that, but this specifically relates to the quality of our play. So we are number 7 now in the male and female categories. So we want to really be number 1 to 3, say, in the next 4 years. I mean, the females will be closer than we think. Watch the space when we do the World Cup qualifiers in December. And the guys, well, okay. I think we have a very optimistic team. Anytime I said targets them, say, okay, we have a 2 or 3 year time, like they believe that that is too soft for them. That's they are closer than I actually think. But in all, we're thinking about sustaining this over time. So when you look at our team and you find out that half of them have come through the under 19 ranks, most of them came through our under 17 championships. Our pathway has been clearly developed and established for good things. I mean, that's what really excites me.
Talking about excitement, Mr. President, let's allow Eric Duzingizimana smell his flowers by becoming the third player to score 50 at this tournament, joining the duo of Sulaiman Rushewe and Hamza Khan.
Yes, I'm really glad that Eric has come through today. In the Rwandan team, he comes with a good pedigree, and I think this has just been looking to happen. I mean, for me again, 3 guys have come through. Bowling has been excellent. Taiwo Mohammed's hat-trick today. So we are also showcasing to the world that the quality of cricket in the sub-Saharan Africa region is top-notch.
Talking about quality of cricket, you saw that at the Gahanga Cricket Stadium where the night Kwibuka Women's T20I tournament happened this year. Your darling female team inflicted the first loss of Victoria Pearls, the Ugandan team, the top-ranked team in Africa, defeated Kenya twice, and also beat Rwanda at Rwanda's ground. I'm sure you were over the moon about their performance.
Well, I think moon was a bit too low. I mean, I went as far as the sun, by the way, on that occasion. But on a serious note, the girls are really making me proud. And I mean, mark this date. I was today's date, if I'm not correct, but just watch out for us in December. That's all I can say for now.
Talking about watching out, this is a preparatory tournament for the final qualifier in Windhoek, Namibia, from the 20th of November to the 1st of December. 7 countries, Nigeria, Rwanda, Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Zimbabwe, are all jostling for 2 slots to be in USA and West Indies. The plans and the preparation.
What did you say? I heard from what so far that over 3 million people are listening to this. So I think I would like to keep our plans close to our chest. For
okay,
this,
absolutely brilliant.
Just know that the team will be properly organized and will have a good run during the tournament.
What are we doing about development? I know it's dear to your heart. What do we need to do more in ensuring that we further develop this game?
Well, I think, again, let's balance between the commercial realities. The more funds we get from our sponsors, the more we apply towards development. Nigeria provides large appetites for these real developments. So you turn out in different places, schools. I'm excited when I see those, the data coming through from schools, the pictures coming through. But the problem is that where you turn out to school, I mean, 200 people are showing up, you can only immediately deal with about half of those numbers. So the opportunity is there in terms of the equipment too. Softball and easy make of the equipment, some of those things are what we are looking at, because again, our major objective too remains to be, in terms of popularity of the sports, to also be the top 3 in Nigeria. But clearly, I always tell people that arguably we are the best organized sports. I can identify from 2 weeks ago when we had the National Youth Games, you can easily track a player that 1 or 2 players are going to come through and end up in the national team over time. Just the same way people have had Joshua Asher and people like Prosper Oseni, and all these chaps have all come through RWANDA. They've come through the ranks and you could easily track them. So for me, development is key, and I always say it. If I wanted a shortcut to qualifying for the World Cup, there are ways you go about it. I'm sure there are excellent and talented Nigerians playing cricket across the country. When we think we are okay with the development at those times, we are at par in terms of exposing our own people to the game, then we can open the field for such people to come in, and then we'll have a totally balanced team. For now, we are happy with what we are doing, but just watch that space. Just as we have things rapidly developing in the technology space, we are really evolving over time, so we have to reset our goals as we move along.
This is the final over, but one final question that my president will be answering is in actualizing these goals. Funding is a major problem. A lot of people are watching globally now, and they can support the Cricket Federation in ensuring that these goals are actualized. But this is 19.5 overs, the last for this over, and we are done with the 103 for 5. Eric Duzingizimana has played from ball 1 to the final ball, and that was a no ball, which is 1 extra run to them. Michael Abuaye, he plays the last ball, and ladies and gentlemen, 106, 107 for loss of 5 in 20 overs, and Eric Duzingizimana joins Sulaiman Rushewe of Nigeria to play from ball 1 to the final ball. Sulaiman achieved his against Sierra Leone. Finally, sir, funding is a big issue. What do you need corporate bodies, individuals, and by extension government to do in ensuring that Nigerian Cricket Federation actualizes its goal of projecting this noble sport to the global audience?
Very easy. Just give me a blank check. No, it's it's not a problem, as I said, because just the way you're structured. I think for us it was just about building a brand, building a product that people are comfortable with. And I assure you, based on what's happened since the trophy tour here, this tournament, we've been receiving a lot of inquiries about people who can come and partner with us, but we need to really direct those funds to the appropriate places, and I think the more we get enhance those products, as it were, then it just becomes a natural flow for us. It's easier for us now, or we can see the light at the end of the tunnel, compared to about 4 years ago. But so I'm really excited that this will come through. Again, thanks to our sponsors of this tournament, DafaBet, then some local sponsors that came very quickly, Sparkle, and let me just announce, be the first opportunity to give everyone here, come over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. If you look over at that end of the pavilion, you're going to see that's going to be the Heineken party stands on Sunday. So we're getting Heineken, which is a major brand, coming to support us here. So it's just going to be explosive festival-like kind atmosphere on Sunday. And again, let's remember, during the trophy tour we had Nissan supporting us. So those brands are beginning to associate with cricket, and so we believe we are on the right trajectory.
Mr. President, I can't thank you enough. You are always an interviewer's delight. Thank you very much for your time despite your busy schedule.
Thank you very much.
Can I put you on the spot?
No, let me put you one on the spot first. If you say I'm really exciting to talk to, next time I'm going to ask for appearance fee.
I can't pay you, but I want to put you on the spot, Mr. President. The Cricket World Cup is going on in India. Who do you think will win the World Cup?
Yeah, when I saw the way India started today, I was really excited about, these guys are good. But before I left here, Australia was pushing back. I don't know whether it's a low batting track, but for me, based on what really happened yesterday, I want to be biased and go South Africa.
You heard from Mr. President, Mr. Uyi Akpata, saying, I'm supporting South Africa, and you heard him clearly, his direction. My charge to corporate bodies, organizations, and individuals that support your funds with Nigerian Cricket Federation, and you get what we call TNA, which is an acronym for transparency and accountability. That is the size of the package for the first innings that just ended. And I love to say, adios amigos. But before we go, Endurance FM will take us through the summary.
There you have again the summary for today's first innings. It's 107 for 5, and it's Eric and Didier who had double figures for Rwanda, 56 of 65 deliveries and 17 of 21 delivery respectively. Godfrey Bakiwayem, brilliant bowling figures there of 3 for 16 from 4 overs. Aquila Said 1 for 20 from 4, and the leading wicket taker of this tournament, Obed Harvey, 1 for 16. The second innings will come through. You stay tuned. Good afternoon and welcome to the second innings of this match number 10, day number 5 of the West African T20 Trophy. It's Rwanda who batted first after winning the toss. 107 in 20 overs. And Ghana will be requiring 108 to win. As the TBS Cricket Oval, the beauty, the Lagos Long Tennis, brilliant bowling by Zappe. Considered 6 from that over. It's end of the first over and it's 6 for no loss. It's Rexford Bakum and Samson, the captain Awia, who's left the park for Ghana. From the pavilion end will be Mohamed Nadir. He's been consistent with the ball and led the park for Rwanda. It's 102 required from 114 deliveries. The required run rate is 5 and presently on 6 per over. They will take that wide. Nadir needs to come tidier. Surely will join me on the mics this afternoon. Tayo, welcome to Lagos. You're welcome to the match. Come box. It's Rexford Bakum. Many years back, I remember running a course in Ghana and I saw this young man trying to hit the ball. And the coaches said, no, you're trying to hit the ball too hard. At that level, he just needs to hit the ball. Exciting to see him here in 2018, hitting the Nigerian bowlers round the park. But this time around, he's got plenty to play for. He wants a single. Wait is the call from Captain Samson.
Thanks, Andy. Pleasure to be here. Manageable total by Ghana. They don't have to go too hard, but they do need to get the scoreboard taken over. Asking rate is 5.5, thereabouts, 5.3. So they can afford a couple of dot balls, which they have in this over now. Just looking at the players sometimes, looks as though fatigue is setting in. 5 games in 5 days.
Brilliant shot over the bowler's head. Fielder comes around. They will run comfortable too. I agree with you, Tayo. It's really been intense this past 5 days. The good thing is this week they've got 2 rest days, tomorrow and Friday, before the last 2 days. This match will end the second round of matches. Big shout, umpire Olumide Akintokun, not keen on that one. That one stayed low. Bakum has got the ability. We've seen him in South Africa, we've seen him in Lagos, we've seen him in Kigali doing it for Ghana. And yes, he can. He goes big again, this time in the air.
Ooh, tough chance. That was struck hard, straight back at the bowler. Good effort. Was flying like a tracer bullet. Still goes down as a drop catch.
Well, it is. A chance was given, wasn't taken.
Rexford has decided here, it seems, to just go at the bowling.
Well, with 2 fielders outside the 30 meters inner ring, you would want to take your chances. And I tell you, one is between deep square leg and deep mid wicket, and the other is on deep long on. If you have that kind of shoot placement and a delivery pitch up to you, you want to take your chances over long off.
Absolutely.
It's end of over number 2, and it's 10 runs for no loss.
Ghana still on course. Scoring at 5 per over. Asking is 5.44. Zappi to bowl the second over from the Court of Appeal end. Question for you, Andy. Sometimes I hear it called the Court of Appeal end. Sometimes I hear it called the High Court end. Which is it?
Court of Appeal end. Starting with a wide.
Good pace, not so good direction.
Umpire Dairo NSC. Shown consistency in most tournaments here in Lagos, Africa. Brilliant line from Zappi.
Zappi zipping it in. Andy, have you ever had to play 5 games in 5 days?
Well,
Oh, it's gone. It's gone. Walks immediately. Good line, good length. Next one off.
that's the thing, Tayo. When you are consistent, asking questions on that 4th stump line, just back of a length, you will get results at some point. I think Zappi, he's bowled beautifully in this spell.
11 for 1. Ghana after 2.2 overs.
Tayo, in my time, we played more 50 over cricket, and we've done 3 in 3 days. And we've rested in between and do the last 2. And so these games are always intense. Well, I'll say any coach would take these games to give opportunities to players as much as he can. And if you have the opportunity to have 10 games within 13 days, as a coach, I want to try so many things to try and see what my players can come up. And if you look at what is happening, you see, I mean, the mix in batting lineups and bowling changes, opening bowlers. You see the coaches are really trying to do that in this tournament. It's Captain Samson Awia who departs, and Godfrey Bakiwayem, an experienced campaigner who opened the bowling for Ghana, got 3 wickets. He's here batting at number 3.
Godfrey Bakiwayem, very familiar with the grounds. Plays a lot of club cricket in Nigeria. Stalwart of this Ghanaian side. One of the veterans. Played brilliantly yesterday. Scored at almost a run a ball. First one's a wide. Down leg.
Zappi will have to find that energy. We'll have to find it to ensure the Rwandans back home have something to cheer about. And he comes back from the Court of Appeal end. This time a big shout. Yes, it is. Umpire Dairo NSA, very sure of that one. Very sure of that one. Godfrey not so happy, but he has to work.
Not sure what he's complaining about there. Or why he's complaining at all.
Well, I don't think there's much he can do. That was a brilliant length by Zappe. And the ball skidding through. Godfrey disappointed with himself. Certainly very disappointed with himself. I would be, anyone would be. He's been consistent with the bat. He doesn't feel good about it. He knows he's got the potentials that requires some actualizations. But that didn't happen, and anyone would be disappointed. But again, it's Zappe. It's Kelvin Awala. Just to remind you, 2 days ago, we had an amazing game of cricket. Tayo, we had the ups and downs in both innings between these two teams, ending in a super over with Ghana taking the day. Will it be the same thing? Kevin Awila, just about the same moment last time, played some beautiful shots along with Theodore, the wicket keeper. Let's hope they hold their own today and make it exciting for our fans all over the world.
As a neutral, I would love to see another super over.
That's another wide. I was going to say before the last wicket, what is the plan of bowling one wide, a wicket, one wide, and wicket? Is it going to happen again?
Let's see. I would give away a few extras if I was guaranteed a wicket after.
Awala will have to watch carefully this time. Goes big in the
Almost.
air, just short off the man. Hamza Khan there at short covers, didn't really move to get to that one.
Zappe has a plan with these wides.
Back home, Rexford, having a few words there.
What do the Ghanaians need to do from here? 2 down, chasing, not very many, lot of overs left. What's your advice?
Well, I'll tell you what, first thing is to try and occupy the crease a bit, try and rotate strike. And don't try to go too hard at the bowling. Because, I mean, obviously you can see Zappe take those 3 wides off this over. He's bowled decent line and length. And you don't want to go flashing and just trying to smash everything. Just get off strike. That's the first assignment. And once you get off strike, every other ball, then you have a chance. Then the captain start thinking and start making bowling changes. See there, they've played every shot in the air. This is another opportunity and it's taken.
Unnecessary.
I said, you're going hard at everything. You should not.
This is awful understanding of the situation, I think. You've just come in, you've just lost 2 wickets, you know, inside of the second over, and you go and do that. It's poor application, it's poor understanding of the situation.
I'll tell you what, 3 wides, 3 dot balls, and 3 wickets from this Zappe over.
And it's 13 for 3 after 3 overs.
Not where Ghana want to be if you are a Ghanaian. But we've seen it, we saw it in the last game. Ups and downs, rocking both ways until Ghana eventually emerged victorious in that super over. What will happen this time? Are we expecting another one? It's Obed Harvey who dictates the pace from here.
Big man for the big moments usually. Played with and against Obed. Usually calm under pressure. Might start slow depending on the situation of the game. The earlier the Rwandans get him out, the better. But I want to see good cricket. I want to see this game, you know, go close to the end. So I wish Obed luck.
Well, Obed Harvey he's a seasoned campaigner for Ghana. He's been around long enough to understand what to do. His first innings here at the TBS Cricket Oval. representing GCI, 175 runs in the CCC League game, still the highest individual score. Demola Onikoyi came close to that. It all happened almost in the same month, weekend after the other. It's Nader from the pavilion end. Big shout at Ace. They got their big man.
I'm not sure what has happened here. What is Rexford waiting for? What is he saying?
That's a wicket. Umpire Olumide Akintoku, sure about that one. Rexford LBW after 12 deliveries and would have to walk. No decent figures there. Strike rate low. Obedave will have to contend with a new partner.
So new men at the crease. 3.1 overs in. And Ghana are reeling at this point.
Daniel Anefi strolls in to join Obed Harvey. Plenty they have to do together. That's what happens with these low totals. They kind of like keep you guessing, not sure how to progress with the innings. And 2, 3 quick wickets, now 4. Find yourself in all sorts of trouble. I can't picture what's happening in Kigali at the moment with Bob and the gang, I call them, sitting always, following their teams around the world. We also saw the recorded success of their women's team at the World Cup. They continue to progress. They continue to improve day in, day out, game after game. These Rwandans are quite a brilliant bunch.
Mohamed Nader.
That's the pressure up. It's cooking now. Plays and misses that one.
No ball called by the umpire. Mohamed Nader overstepped. Free hit. Good release shot for. Good chance of a release for Daniel.
Well, he needs to take advantage of this one. If you can find the boundary, go hard at it.
Yeah, good chance to get off the mark after 3 balls.
Unbelievable. Swings this and misses that one. Just take your time, get bat on ball. Again, this is what we're talking about. Once you find yourself in this situation, your feet, you've got those cold feet, not moving into, position to quickly get behind the ball. He goes big this time. The man on the
He finds the man on the fence and it's gone. That's the pressure. That's the pressure that dots bring. 3 or 4 consecutive dot balls, including the wicket. Daniel feels compelled to find something big. He attempts, but right down the throat of the man at long gone.
This is very disappointing. It's not how to approach this game. Ghana will have to think outside the box. Obed Harvey will have to think of what next. Yet to face a ball, and he's watched 2 wickets gone at the striker's end. All in 1 over. Nothing spectacular. Not what you want to see if you're a Ghanaian. It's been bowling that have dominated. Zappi, Bimenyimana has dominated with the ball, and now Mohamed Nadir.
And one of the stats that stands out from that scorecard is that no one has managed to face 15 balls. Most people have faced less than 5.
It's Michael Agboye who joins Obed Harvey. All they need is 5 and over. No need for risks. Spend some time in the crease. Run the ones. Rotate strike. But again, it can also be difficult when you've lost too many wickets and the bowler's bowling decent line and length. That's the end of the 4th one. Yeah, you said 94 runs required from 96 deliveries. The game's still in the balance. Take out the 5 wickets lost.
Yes, it looks pretty straightforward on paper. You know, less than a run per ball. But at 14 for 5, even though you have 16 overs to face. Bedavi facing up for the first time. Still Zappi from the Court of Appeal end. Misfield.
Brilliant piece of running by Kabare, who partners with Oscar in ensuring not more than 2 runs. It's Obed.
Gets off the strike immediately.
Who's gotten off the mark. He's got the ability to take this game away. Perhaps all he needs is an ensured partner to do this with him. Again, Rwanda will have to think a way around this. Don't let him settle for too much. Deprive him of the strike. And then he becomes agitated and wants to score.
The Rwandans must know that they're 1 big wicket away from getting into the Ghanaian tail. How would you play this? Would you go after Obed, or would you just keep him off strike and try to get the other guys out?
I'll tell you what, if I was captain, I will attack him every time. And if he manages to get off strike, I'll ensure he doesn't come back. Quite sloppy there. I'll pick another single. Run out opportunity, misses that one. Obed again living dangerously.
He has his heart in his mouth. Not necessary, the reward, when you consider the reward and the risk, that single was not really necessary. There's not a lot of overs still to play. And by this standards, not a lot of runs. You should relax and just play the situation.
I think Zappe is really testing and asking a lot of questions around the wicket lines. Decent length. And it's end of over number 5, 19 for 5. Ghana seems to be crawling. Presently on 3 per over, requiring 5 per over.
Well, they've gone 7 balls without losing a wicket.
That's the most important thing. So all they need to do from here is, again, Obed and Michael, who's got the ability to also stay, are doing just that. They're not trying to take risks. They're playing proper textbook shots, and so they just need to continue.
Not a good scorecard if you're Ghanaian.
19 minus 6. 13 runs off the bat.
That's it.
Okay, so TJ will be joining us again in the comms box. TJ will be joining us shortly. And it's Emilia who continues from the pavilion end. They're taking chances, too many. Misfielded there.
Emil into the attack. Again, living dangerously. Obed and Michael Aguaye take a single. Maybe they made it more difficult than it really was.
Yeah. It's going to be bowling over the wicket from the pavilion end.
Another single.
Rwandans will have to pick this up.
Yes, because Obed and Michael seem to have settled into a rhythm of these singles.
That is what they will try to do. Any sensible cricketer will try to create those chances, getting off strike, rotating those ones, waiting for those loose deliveries, and capitalizing on them. This time wide one. Ghana would take that anytime, any day. No easy call. Brilliant turn on that one. Emilia seems to be enjoying the moment.
Our men in the middle looking sharp. Lumide Akitokun, Daire Nessi. Both former Nigeria internationals, both bowlers. And do you feel like umpires who are bowlers have more sympathy for the bowlers?
Well, I've never really thought of it, but I'm certain both of them have matured enough to know it's about the moment as the game progresses. But, I mean, we've had a few times where we had to have these discussions. And, you know, the saying where, you know, always give the benefits to the batters because it's just one live. And in 50-over cricket, you've got bowlers having 60 deliveries to take as many wickets as they want, but batters have just one live. So when you are in doubt, you ensure the batters have it.
Both very excellent swing bowlers in their time. I open the bowling for some years with Olumide at IMCC and at the University of Ibadan. Dangerous in-swinger.
I'll tell you about that man, Olumide. It's 23 for 5 after 6 overs. Tyra, I traveled all the way from Lagos for a game in Ibadan, and I was bowled first ball by Olumide opening the batting in a 50-over game. You know what that means? I felt like I needed to tell the umpire we haven't started the game, and you just wanna go back and say, look, can we just start the game all over? And I sat there the whole day as an opening batter, realizing that I've just wasted my time coming to Ibadan. And guess what? I don't bowl then. So it just means 6 hours of cricket. First delivery. Went for the booming drive. Played around it. Missed it. My middle stump was off the ground. Martin Akayezu will join the bowling unit from the Court of Appeal end of the TBS cricket over. And it's Obed Harvey to take the delivery. Brilliant shot. No power on that one.
Excellent
Just
timing.
dabbed it through backward of point.
Is that the first boundary of the innings, Andy?
That's the second one. You can't give that man room whatsoever to execute the cut.
Obed has the ability to take the game away from you within a twinkle of an eye. Once he settles, gets into his rhythm, he's a very dangerous man to bowl to.
And trust me, he is passionate about his cricket. That's a wide. You can see there Akayezu trying to bowl that one across him, but he needs to start from that middle stump line, just back of a length to get that rhythm. 80 runs from 83 deliveries, 5 wickets on the offer. You can hear that call, that confidence, that noise, that shout from Obed. Tells you, don't if I don't call you. Joining the mics will be Seun Ajidagba. Seun, you are welcome.
Thank you very much, Endurance of FM. Top class job the duo have done. Endurance and Tayo Shewole. This is looking dramatic. 29 runs for loss of 5 wickets. I never saw this coming. 6.3 overs gone. Michael Abuahi and Obed Harvey both batting. Martin Akayezu coming from the Court of Appeal end. Missed opportunity there. For a run out chance. And they keep batting.
The Rwandans know that the wicket to get is Obed's. And so if they had a run-out chance, they would go at his end first.
More importantly, you know what left-hand batters do to fielders and by extension bowlers? You keep changing, including the umpire.
Ooh, played around it.
He is unperturbed.
Left-hand batters, I enjoy to watch sometimes. Ooh, another dot.
That's when they are doing the job for the team they are playing for, not for the opposing team.
One of my all-time favorite cricketers to watch, Sri Lankan left-hand batter and keeper Kumar Sangakkara, who for my money has one of the best cover drives in the game.
How about Adam Gilchrist?
Adam Gilchrist, pinch hitter, destroyer, finisher. But just the grace at which Sangakkara plays that shot,
Kuma.
I've missed watching him.
Your ranking of Chris Gayle?
Again, limited over cricket can be devastating. But just to be clear, I'm speaking particularly about Sangakkara's cover drive.
Absolutely. Your preference?
Slug sweep to mid-wicket. Brings Obed back on strike.
Emile Rukiriza coming from the pavilion end into his second over. What Rwandans will be working with is the wickets. Knowing that the runs that they put up wasn't as much as what happened on the 5th of October, that ill-fated day where they thought they had it in the bag, scoring 121, only for Godfrey Bakiwayem to rescue the game from the jaws of defeat to victory for them. You don't do that to Obed.
Nope, don't bowl there. You cannot bowl there. You cannot bowl there to most left-handers. You certainly should not bowl there to Obed.
Especially when you don't have protection there.
Even if you did.
Obed is on over 100% strike rate. Seems to be the brightest batter for this Ghanaian side.
And the equation for Ghana is simple. 73 needed of 73 balls. 1 run per ball. Umpire says not out.
Michael Abuaye
Not
Just-
sure why he's running.
just survived the scare.
I'm not sure why he's running.
Like we always say, the umpires see better. I was thinking from where I was that he was gone. I mean, lost his wicket.
Umpire Olumide Akintokunbo taking charge of the game, allowing for no stoppages.
There is fast spent. And so they want to end this game. Eight overs gone. 35 for 5. 73 runs in 72 balls. And according to Tayo, this is more like 1 run per ball. But this Rwandan side will be working with wickets. You think that is much better?
And it makes sense because there's 12 overs to go, 70 odd runs to get, but the Ghanaians only have 5 wickets to play with.
Didier said it, that this is a game they must win. If there's any hope of probably playing in the final of the West Africa Trophy sponsored by Dafabet.
Ooh.
One became two.
There was a chance, and then there was a misfield.
Maybe to correct it, run out became 1 run, and 1 run eventually became 2 runs. Certainly not what the Rwandans will want at this period, especially for their fans back home. Wide ball. Martin is stunned, but main umpire, standing umpire, Habiba Moto Enes, sees better than Martin.
Ooh, you feel like he's missed out there. Martin tried to bowl a slower one. He did bowl it slower, but he also bowled it full.
Which I felt he should be very grateful that the ball was not hit for maybe a 4 or a 6. This is Oberhave's wagon wheel. Gone back to 69 runs needed in 69 balls. We are in for drama.
Two boundaries in that inning by Ubed so far. He's 18 off 19 balls, striking at almost 100%.
What Captain Didier would be saying to the other bowlers, if we cannot get wicket for now, let them just keep dotting the balls. At some point in time, they will show some level of frustration that they are not scoring the runs and they want to go big, and in trying to go big might become a problem.
I mean, yes, he might think of it that way, but I also know as a captain that one of the things that's going to be playing in your head is there's still a quality batter at the crease. The asking rate is still well within reach. And that always means that within the space of 6, 10, 12 balls, the game can go away from you. It can get away from you.
Quickly, Rexford back home, 7 runs of 12 balls. Samson Kwasi Awe, captain, 1 run of 3 balls. Godfred Bakiwayem didn't score any run at all. Kevin Awala also did not score any run. Obed Harvey and Michael Abuai is still batting, 18 and 4 respectively. It's time for Emmanuel Sebareme to bowl his first ball. After 9 overs coming from the pavilion end.
Ooh,
And he gets that wicket.
Angles one in into the toes of Obed. And it's bowled. Is that game over, Shun?
Game over.
Is that game over for Ghana?
I am not ruling out the other batters, but the guys who can do things for them are the likes of Rexford Bakum, Godfred Bakiwayem, Obed Harvey. Those are the people who have been, notching those runs. So not having them anymore in the batting crease will be worried for coach RP Sharma. Let's see what this man would come in to do. Alex Osei, and that was the wicket he wanted. I'm sure Emmanuel Sebareme will be over the moon. They needed the wicket of Obed so badly. They got the wicket of Obed. And they would want these new players to start building partnership, which sometimes can be very difficult.
This is how you earn your reputation as a captain. Bowling changes that work. He's brought in Emmanuel Sebareme. Emmanuel does the job first ball. Gets the key wicket of the danger man, Obedavi. Rwandans can breathe better now.
Appeal that fell on deaf ears from the gesture of umpire Olumide Akintokun. He said that was more of a leg bye. Alex Osei, who just came on in the previous game they played against Rwanda, scored 12 runs off 29 balls. Just one run will be taken. Good pickup from Mohamed Nadir. This is match 10 day 5. West Africa Trophy.
Oh, good shot.
Sponsored by Dafabet. Good drive. Current run rate is 4.45. Required is 6.25. Still falling short of what is required. What was Michael thinking about? I am tempted to say, do we have snake in that batting crease? That looks scary. He's been trying to run even when he was partnering with Oberave. Michael Abuaye is the only person that can explain what was chasing him in that batting crease. Needless run out, but the Rwandans wouldn't care.
No, they won't mind at all. They've kept their nerves. They've bowled okay. They fielded really well. A lot of the Ghanaians' problems have been created by themselves. Absolutely no need to take that single. It wasn't on offer. There wasn't a run there. And even though his partner kept telling him no, he had roller skates on.
Absolutely. He's an Usain Bolt. A Michael Johnson, since it's Michael Abuaye, so he wanted to sprint down the pavilion. And that wish has been granted. It's done for today. And in comes Joseph Theodore, the wicket keeper for Ghana. Very soon, shall be bringing on Oreku to get his thoughts. Emmanuel Sebareme from the pavilion end. The kind of over you want to have as a bowler. Tayo, help me wax a bit lyrical about Emmanuel Sebareme. First over, you get 2 wickets and just concede 1 run.
That's a captain's dream, to be able to bring someone on who does the job when you're under pressure. The seamers have come, They've toiled. They haven't. Well, they've gotten some results, but then they need a break. To be able to bring somebody on that does the job this way, is always a great luxury to have.
Thank you very much, Tayo Showale. He will take a bow for a while, but definitely would return as I bring on former national team player, former player of King's College Old Boys, gold medalist at Nuga Games for Obafemi Awolowo University, player of GCI, to help us understand what is going on with the Ghanaians. Was it complacency that they beaten them before, they can always beat them, or the Rwandese are just saying in South Edo, to be precise, they call it Agbemugbe. We came in today, as in today we're going to get this victory. They look like the team that needed it the most. Sheung.
I think all credit to the Rwandan team. They've been, disciplined in their bowling, and you can see that almost all the wickets were earned, not given. Very maybe with the exception of the last one, which was the run out, which was a gift. But they've really bowled well. From the first one, trapping Bakum LBW, that's a bowler's delight. Also getting and Samson nicking it off Bemenyi Nama, and then Godfrey also being trapped. Kelvin being caught, and Obed being bowled, and Daniel also being caught and bowled. So indeed, they've been they've been disciplined in their bowling and in their fielding, and you have to give them all the credit. It's not really looking good for Ghana right now. At this point, Rwanda were 40, about 50 for 1 in the same 10 overs, but we're looking at 46 for 7. So they're behind on the asking rate. They're also way behind in terms of the wickets in hand. So yes, all credit goes to the Rwandan team coming to the game plan, sticking to it, and executing it. I've been very, very happy about the way they've done the basic things we require from cricketers, and it's a sign to the fact that they're listening to their coaches.
They are listening to their coach, and the name of the coach of Rwanda is Lee Boots. Good pick up and good backup from the bowler Mohamed Nadir. I was speaking with the captain Didier prior to this game. He played 4 matches, won 1 and lost 3, and he said, son, instead of Sheung, he said, this is not where we are supposed to be, that we should be doing better, especially when they look back at the game they lost in the super over. They had it in the bag and they just allowed it to slip, and he said this one is very important because they win this, it makes it 2/5 and they still have a fighting chance.
Absolutely, I think, and that's what you want to see. You want to see teams come out and back themselves up, execute it on the field of play. Their batting was based on patience today. They didn't rush it. The wickets in hand, took the singles, and they bowled really well. Again, another chance. Just asking questions of the batting. Good spin. I like the field setting that they have also, and the bowlers have really been disciplined bowling to that field. So yes, captains has also been very spot on, and you've got to give them the credit they deserve.
Mohamed Nadir, still coming from the Court of Appeal end, is into his 3rd over. Not done badly. You see the sign of the umpire. That's a leg by. He's had 2 wickets, and I'm sure that's to the delight of the captain of the side and the entire teammates, and they want him to have more. Better bowling.
Not sure that ball turned, stayed low, and that have been worrisome if that had been on the stumps. But really good bowling by Nadir. Starts his over. This is his 3rd over now. 10 for 2. Fantastic bowling spell so far. I don't think the captain could have asked him for more than what he has delivered today.
Talking about captain, Shehu, you've captained several teams at several levels. You know they need 59 runs in 54 balls. But I'm sure in your heart of hearts you'll be saying to your team, let's just work with the wickets and forget about the number of balls that we have left and the number of runs that they have to face.
Well, from a bowling side or a batting side now?
From a bowling side.
Well, yeah, it can be tricky. You want to wrap it up as soon as possible. This is T20. One bad over changes the direction of the game. I recall watching a game where between these two teams also in Kigali, and the Ghana was in a similar position, and someone comes in and takes in its 360s in the last over, and that's how Ghana was able to beat Rwanda. So I'm sure that's probably at the back of their minds. As a captain, you always want to wrap it up as soon as possible, but you also don't want to underestimate your opposition.
And one thing we also have to point out there, good for Sebareme, is the fact that while you were thinking about those top guys, Samson Kwasi Awe, the captain, Godfred Bakiweyem, Rexford Bakum, Obedavi, all those players, you just see that they might have lost their wicket, but some players will just decide to take the game by the scruff of the neck. So it's not Uhuru yet for the Rwandan team.
Absolutely, for the Ghanaian team. And that's an LB decision. Umpire Olumide gives out. Looked plumb from where we're sitting. And that's another wicket lost. That makes it 8 down. Alex seemed to be batting well. I don't know what got into him, and he decided to turn around and play a cross bat shot for that particular ball. I think he maintained a straight bat with an asking rate of almost, not too far from a runner ball. You could still have pushed and gotten there.
Big problem for Ghana. How they would wrestle this from Rwanda remains to be seen, but they have 49 balls to do that, knowing that they need 57 runs. We wait to see what happens, but we are in for drama. But you have to say credit must go to Emmanuel Sebareme. Since coming on, it's done excellently well.
Absolutely, 4 for 2 in 1.5 overs, fantastic economy rate, and it's taking 2 wickets, especially the crucial wicket of Obedavi. So I don't know whether you can ask for more. It's bowled really well, and I like the way he's played around with his field, bringing back the sleeps, moving him from gully and bringing him back to stationary sleep, a backward point, a cover, shot mid-off. It's bowling to his field. Oh, fantastic on the money ball.
Great baptism for Aziz Suwale, who just came on. And great over for Emmanuel Sebareme. 2 overs, 4 runs conceded and 2 wickets. This is brilliant. 12 overs gone. 51 runs for loss of 8 wickets. Aziz Suwale and Joseph Theodore batting. And they would have a new bowler coming from the Court of Appeal end. One of the top bowlers at this tournament, Kevin Kabare Irakoze.
Irakoze, number 77, looks like he's gonna go some leggies from his run up, from his practice. His stretches and practices. It's looking, back of the wrist spin, I suspect, which is most likely going to be a leg spin. Well, let's see.
Don't do that.
Whoa.
Maximum.
Full toss dispatch to cow corner.
Theodore showed him no respect at all. And what that simply means is you do that 6 times. I send it 6 times to the cow corner.
Absolutely. And again, little mistakes like this can change the momentum of the game, especially in T20 games. 4 6s, and we're talking about a close game, and which is what we will want to see as neutrals in this particular game.
Nobody wants to see what happened in 2016 between England and West Indies. Carlos Braithwaite and Ben Stokes. And I listened to Stokes during the documentary before the World Cup, where he said he went to meet Geoffrey Archer and said to him, whatever happens in this over will not define you in that super over.
Absolutely. That's what you want to see and hear from your captain. Full backing from the captain. And I think we all know what happened. The rest is history. New Zealand taking out their revenge in the first World Cup game, beating England in the ongoing World Cup game in India.
Beat them silly.
Yeah. Again, I think the 6 by Joseph just highlights the fact that, you can't underestimate the batsman there. Swing and a miss.
But you have to say that after that 6, Kelvin has put on his thinking cap, knowing I cannot let down my teammates with full toss.
Indeed, the sun peeping out of the clouds onto the Tafa Balewa cricket oval. Beautiful scenes there. I've always loved playing at the TBS cricket oval.
Absolutely.
Enjoyed playing here. A lot of good memories. And I think, like fine wine, the pitch has continued to mature. We've seen some developments, the introduction of the tough wickets, 10 and 11 strips. We've seen the introduction of a tough practice net facilities now. And, looking beautiful, more beautiful as the days goes by.
Sebareme, tormentor in chief for the Ghanaians.
I think it's just bowling wicket to wicket. And it's kept it very simple.
No big decision to make for the duo from Nigeria. Habib Amoto Enesi, Kaduna State, Nigeria, square leg umpire. And the main umpire and standing umpire from Osun State, Nigeria, Olumide Akintokun.
Yeah, and there's a rest day tomorrow. Today is the 5th consecutive day of cricket. Do you think that's impacting the totals we're seeing today? Do you think there's a bit of fatigue coming into the players? And I'm sure there's much needed rest days going to come in tomorrow. Or what are your thoughts on that?
Well, in between, you can argue for or against. Yes, players are fatigued, no doubt, playing back-to-back cricket. But more importantly, I've also seen bowlers and fielders doing an excellent job. And I've also seen batters not applying themselves properly. So all this, you sum them together, gives you the kind of thing that you are seeing. Players are tired, no doubt. They need their rest. But again, the bowlers have done well. The fielders have done well in some games. And the batters have not done justice.
Yeah, looks like a turning wicket. The Ghanaians have had problems with the spin this afternoon. That was just a little bit on the high side. Probably would have been a good shout again for LBW. Emmanuel bowling just tidy line and length. And it's bowled him again, just as we we're talking about Emmanuel's line and length, just the nagging line and length, getting a bit of off spin, a lot of off spin actually, getting that ball to turn in and taking just the bill, And I think Emmanuel is turned this game around. I would say he's probably wrapped up the game for Rwanda.
Guess what? He took the night wicket and is sporting jersey number 9. Emmanuel Sebareme making it the more difficult. Joseph Theodore has lost his wicket. Miracles do happen. Oluwaseun believes in miracle. Tayo Showale believes in miracle. Endurance of Fame believes in miracle. Tamuna John, yours truly also believe in miracle. But this looks like a tall order for the Ghanaians. And you can see that the best of partnership that they had was Michael Abuaye and Obed Avi, which was 26 from 32 balls. The next one that came close was the opening batter, Rexford Bakum and Samson Kwasi Aware, which is 11. That shows how difficult Rwanda have made things look for Ghana.
Absolutely. At this point, Rwanda were 67 for 2, and they laid a very solid foundation for the total of 103. And but what we've seen is Ghana has just one more wicket. At this point in time, if I were a betting man, I would say that this game is probably going to be won by Rwanda. The requirements as well as the risk of just keeping one wicket for the required 50 runs is it's a tough one. But again, like we say, miracles do happen in cricket. We've seen Panasa hang on to save England from losing test games. Can we get the same from Ghana this afternoon?
Looks pretty difficult from this end. 14 overs gone. Like I said, the Rwandan team will be unperturbed about the overs that is left, and they'll focus more on the wicket, which has worked for them. 58 for 9, 14 overs gone. Akil Syed Isra, what he does to people, he will have a dose of it. AA batting. Can we see AA performance? I know A in academic stands for excellence. Akil and Aziz. Can we see an AA performance that can bring it home to Ghana?
Aziz looks like a proper number 11, even with his stance. And Nadil is probably licking his fingers. Really excited about the prospect of bowling 6 balls to 2 tail-enders to add to his 2 wickets. Ooh. Keeping low outside of stump. And Aziz would need to get lower to be able to get to that ball.
Still making it difficult for them.
I think it's it's a double whammy, like they say. It's a double whammy. Asking rate is going up. No wickets in hand. Not looking good for Ghana today. And the expectation is that Rwanda should be able to wrap it up from here. But again, we're here for the excitement. If Ghana chooses to surprise us, we're happy to go for a ride with them. Or what do you say, Ajida?
Well, impossibility is nothing, but looks a bit difficult. And in achieving that, Syed and Akil has to do a lot. Mohamed Nadir just considered just 1 run.
Nadio, coming from round the wicket now, trying to see whether he can make a difference. Woo! And that almost worked. However,
it's just quite funny. I'm sure Sied will be saying to himself, "Oh, top batters, why did you expose me?"
yes, indeed. And I can see that the Rwandan guys are a bit relaxed now. I'm sure they also at the back of their mind, looking at the top wicket takers so far. Isaac Ukbe leads the charts with 11 wickets. Obed Avi following with 10. Economy rate of 4.6. Isaac with 4.5. Udekwe Chimele with 8 wickets and economy rate of 4.57. So far, so good. It's been a bowler's tournament, I would say.
Emmanuel Sebareme to Aziz. 1 run taken.
Absolutely, 1 run taken to long on drive by Aziz, brings Aquil on strike. Again, Emmanuel, tidy line and length. Aziz with his height was able to get that reach. But Emmanuel may struggle, as Quill may struggle a bit to get to the pitch of that ball. Emmanuel has been very tidy, with his off spin.
The bench of the Ghanaians says it all.
Again,
ladies and gentlemen,
I was just about to say that Emmanuel has taken a wicket in every over he's bowled, and that if I were a betting man, I would have put my money on the fact that he would take the last wicket in his first over.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rwanda won by 47 runs to give themselves a fighting chance, and you can be rest assured that President Paul Kagame will be excited. Over 13,776,698 population will be excited. Steve Musale, the president of Rwandan Cricket Association, will be very happy. From Kigali to Rutongo to Kikukiro to Gisagara, Gisenyi, Kibungo, Hunyamagabe, they will be over the moon now that their team finally got that victory over Ghana, avoiding the mistake that happened on October 5, 2023, where they lost in a super over. Shewadeku, as we wrap up, what is your take about today's game?
Well, I think today was the difference between the two sides was just application. The Rwandan team applied themselves, came in with a very good mindset, executed very well. They didn't do too much, just the simple things, they did it very well. Ghana, on the other hand, wasn't able to do that. They lost wickets in buckets and in batches, and that's never a good thing because it affects your momentum. Obed tried. Obed came in and built a partnership, but were unable to sustain it. And so, but it's good for the tournament. Now we have two teams who are vying for what would say second position on the table. Nigeria looking good to be the one of the finalists, and then we're looking for the other two finalists in this tournament. So yeah, overall very good game, good for the tournament. Rwanda showing what we know them to be capable of.
That is the match summary. Before I ask Seun the last question, for batting in the first innings, Eric Duzingizimana scored 56 runs off 65 balls. Didier Indikubumana scored 17 off 21 balls. Manishimwe Oscar scored 9 runs off 14 balls. While for the bowling, Godfred Bakiwem, 3 wickets for 16 runs in 4 overs. Akil Isra Sied, 1 wicket for 20 runs in 4 overs. Oberave, 1 wicket for 16 runs in 4 overs. And for the Ghanaians, the batting, Oberave top scored 18 runs from 20 balls. Joseph Kwame Theodore 8 runs from 12 balls. Record Bakum 7 runs of 12 balls. And for their bowling, Emmanuel Sebareme topped the bowling, 4 wickets for 6 runs in 3.3 overs. Zapi Bimeimana 3 wickets for 14 runs in 3 overs. And Mohamed Nadil 2 wickets for 11 runs in 4 overs. Shewadeku, history has been created at this tournament. Now we have 2 players who played from ball 1 to the final ball. Sulaiman Rushewe of Nigeria and Eric Duzigizimana of Rwanda. First player to pick an hat-trick in bowling, Taiwo Mohammed. That was also achieved today. And of course, you can continue to talk about the positive. That's the table, as you are seeing in your front.
Absolutely. Clearly Nigeria topping with 5 wins and 10 points. Ghana now with 6 points, having lost this last game. Rwanda with 4 points, their second win of the tournament. Looking to bounce back again. Rwanda versus Sierra Leone on Tuesday. We'll have another interesting game, but at least Rwanda have given themselves a chance to, what we would say is that the probability of them getting to the finals lies in their own hands. They are not relying on any other team at this point. So if they win the remaining games, then they're able to get to the finals. But if they had lost today, they would have needed Nigeria or Sierra Leone to win Ghana in one of those games. But now it's totally back into their hands.
The top 3 batters, Daniel Ajekum of Nigeria won 19 runs from 5 innings. Hamza Khan of Rwanda won 13 runs from 5 innings. And Sulaiman Rushewe won 11 for 5. Obed Have 98 from 4. That's what you are seeing. And for the wicket, you are also seeing Isaac Okwe, Obed Have, and the Chiemele Udekwe. While others from, you can see, and for the dismissals, talking about fielding, Sulaiman Rushewe leads the pack, followed by Godfred Bakiweyem, Joseph Theodore. Well, we'll be proceeding to presentation, but not without saying a big thank you to my colleagues who have done excellently well in making today's job very seamless. From Endurance of Fame, former Nigerian captain and player representative on the board, to Oluwaseun Deku, former Nigerian international, to Samuno John, and of course, former under-19 captain of Nigeria, Tayo Showale. I'd like to say to you, thank you very much. We'll be back, God willing, on Tuesday when proceedings resume. But from this commentary position, our job for now is done as we proceed towards presentation. Thank you, guys.
Sugar Daddy